gentlemen, you are watching Pillar to Post. I am your host, Pete Wall, and I have to say one thing before I get the show going. Please subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment if you will. You can also reach me at on Twitter at Mordecai Fallon. You can find me on YouTube under Mordecai if you're watching this video. You can also reach me via Facebook at Pete G. Wall. And if you want to ask me a question, send me any kind of info pertaining to WWE wrestling, you can send it via my email, steeldragon1234 at hotmail.com. One other thing. SmackDown finally got its ass back in gear and gave us a quality show to watch tonight. Hats off to Shane McMahon and all the people that helped make SmackDown the show it is. We went through 2 terrible weeks. Third week, we finally broke out of that run, and we're back on good footing with SmackDown Live. Now, I'm not going to say it was all good, but for the most part, it was a good show. It was entertaining. We had wrestling, we had action, and there was some stuff that actually led towards WrestleMania. So, I liked it. Now, before we get into all that, I've talked about this on my program before. I am an author of fantasy fiction, and I also design t-shirts. So, within 2 weeks, I will be unveiling the new design for a t-shirt of Pillar to Post. Now, this is what's going to happen. That t-shirt, or that design that will be available on that t-shirt, I'm going to have a little, not a contest, but I want to do something to help my channel grow. So here's what's going to happen. For every 500 subscribers, I will do a draw. And that draw will be done with all the subscribers that are on this channel. If we reach 500, the 500th episode, we are going to, or the 500th subscriber, I'll do a video. We're going to have a draw. And that draw is going to be done like this. You're going to have to comment on that video, and everyone that comments on that video will be included in that draw. Now, I will be checking to make sure that you are a subscriber, so make sure that you're not one of those subscribers that are hidden from everyone. And the winner of that draw will win a free t-shirt. Second, I'm going to do it like this. We get up to, I gotta say, if we make it to 10,000, that is my goal right now. Get to 10,000 subscribers. When we reach 10,000 subscribers, we are going to have a draw, and it's going to be the first ever Steel Crate giveaway. So, it is going to be a box filled with numerous prizes, t-shirts, caps, you name it, it's going to be in there. So, for now, we're going to leave that at that. And tonight, we're going to get on with the show. And it was a pretty damn good fucking show. What did we have tonight? We had a great tag team match. We had the Usos versus the American Alpha. And it was a tag team match that could actually be spoken about. Now, the match they had on the last episode, I thought was total shit. There's too much other things going on with the Shane McMahon, AJ Styles bit, and it just didn't seem like these teams were working together properly. There's too much going on, and it was, I think, throwing off their match. This week, they made up for that match phenomenal fucking match. We have seen Randy Orton versus Baron Corbin in a fantastic fucking match. We also seen Becky Lynch and what the fuck is her name? Carmella. And that broke into chaos. And we had the show end off with a confrontation between AJ Styles and Shane McMahon. So, what happened tonight? We were entertained. I do want to say one thing. You know, and I've got a wife that kind of watches, kind of listens to the show because I watch it right in the living room. I've got my oldest daughter who loves wrestling. And every time a Miz and Maurice segment came up, it was like, what's the right word? It was like they shat on themselves. You know, I'm talking about Miz and Maurice. It was not good acting. It was not comical. It was not funny. Everyone in the house was just saying, would you just fucking shut up? Would you just fucking just get off the TV? We don't want to see you. So, that is my bad remarks for tonight. So, let's get on with the show. It is March 21st, 2017, and we were watching SmackDown Live. And we started off the show with AJ Styles' heinous attack on Shane McMahon last week. They had to recap it. And then we came into Daniel Bryan backstage, and he was quickly joined by AJ Styles. AJ seemed like he was in one of his good moods. AJ asks about Shane, and Bryan tells him he has no idea what he's gotten himself into. Bryan says that Shane was a man about the situation because he didn't ambush Styles. Styles tells him that he felt so good demanding his opportunity last week that he wants to do it all over again. Now, AJ Styles makes his way down to the ring. He's got a huge fucking grin on his face. And he begins by saying that he's been 7 days, or it's been 7 days, but he's still not sorry about last week. He then says that for everything Shane has put him through, he decided to return the favor by putting him through a window. Styles says that Shane must be crazier than anyone thought and then accepts his challenge. He admits that he wants to be at Mania because it's the ultimate thrill ride. However, he still maintains that Shane needs this match because the blue brand would crumble without AJ Styles. I don't know if I have to agree with that. I think even if AJ Styles went over to Raw, Raw would still be pretty badly done. Look at what SmackDown was given after the brand draft. And they weren't really given much top talent. It was all mid-card kind of talent. You know, you have Bray Wyatt, who was getting underutilized. You had Dean Ambrose, who was getting underutilized. And he's got his own issues. He becomes stale pretty quickly. Baron Corbin wasn't being used properly. But look at them now. They know how to make a show entertaining. They've been learning. Their stories have been done in a better way than what we see on Raw. So I don't agree with them. But it's part of the storyline. AJ goes on to say he's untouchable. He then tells us that he's going to wait for Shane McMahon once again in the parking lot. And if they thought last week was bad, this time it will be phenomenally worse. It's a good promo. We go quickly to break, and we get the Usos up against American Alpha for the tag team titles. I was a little bit surprised about that. It's 12 days to WrestleMania, and the titles are up for grabs. And American Alpha has not been very well utilized as tag team champions, so this kind of shocked me. So, are we going to be seeing the Usos and Alphas in a rematch at WrestleMania? Who knows? But from where I'm sitting, it'll probably be on the pre-show, which is sad. So, we return to see Daniel Bryan on the phone with Shane McMahon. Bryan informs Shane that AJ is waiting for him out in the parking lot. Shane tells Bryan something that makes him smile, and Bryan turns around and says, "That will work." Excuse me, I still got this cold. I'll take a drink. Now, before the American Alpha match, we get Baron Corbin. He walks in while Bryan Daniels is still on the phone. Baron Corbin walks in and talks to Bryan. Corbin asks as to where the whereabouts of Dean Ambrose. And Daniel says he hasn't heard from Ambrose in weeks. Corbin turns to leave and says he has the night off, so you can find him at the blackjack tables. Bryan stops him and says he caught him on a bad night. Walked into his office. He was already in a bad mood. So tonight he's going to make a match between Baron Corbin and Randy Orton. So, no night off for Corbin. And couldn't tell if he looked pleased that he had a match or he was a bit upset about it. But it was to his benefit. It was a really good night for Baron Corbin. He put on an excellent show. But before then, we finally get up to the WWE Tag Team Championship match between American Alpha and the Usos. Jimmy Uso and Jason Jordan start the match off. Jordan applies headlock to Jimmy. JBL sends his thoughts to JR from everyone in the WWE family. JR's wife was involved in a car crash today and is in serious condition. So I would also like to convey my respect and my best wishes for JR and his wife. I'm hoping she pulls through and everything works out fine for the pair. So Jason makes the tag to Jimmy. Excuse me. Jimmy makes the tag and Jimmy finds his partner too, but Gable immediately has him in a submission hold. Gable works his way to the corner, but does not tag his partner in, and instead holds on to the hold. Jay works his way out, and Jordan tags himself in. The two work together and clear the ring after a clothesline, while the other Uso slides out of the ring. My opinion, this is a championship match. Why have a commercial break? I don't want to miss action, especially when a match is going well. I don't want to miss action, especially in a title match. But we get a commercial break. We come back and the Usos are in control. Gable finds himself in a headlock. And when we come back from the commercial break, is it Jimmy or Jay who was in the ring? I don't know, but he hits the turnbuckles, comes in, slides like a baseball slide, and hooks Gable's head in a headlock. Looked fucking fantastic. Beautiful move. Gable finds himself in a headlock in the center of the ring until he is flung hard into the corner. Gable finds himself in the corner and jumps out of the way in time. Jimmy takes the tag and Gable tries to get to his partner, but Jay stops him. Jimmy tries to get involved and is taken out on the outside by Jordan. Jay continues the action in the ring and Gable, who rolls out... Excuse me. Jay continues the action in the ring with Gable, who rolls out. Jimmy slams him to the ground with a hard clothesline. that almost puts him out for the 10 count. Gable barely makes it into the ring, but he's able to roll in, and after a bit, fuck, my writing is terrible. Gable, okay, let's see. Gable barely makes it back into the ring. Gable is ragdolled by a bit, or for a bit, until a spear goes wrong, and Jay finds the ring post instead. Now, when I wrote this, should have wrote it down better. So, we got Gable hanging upside down in a tree of woe. His ankle's caught in the top turnbuckle. And one of the Usos, I believe it was Jay, that's what I wrote down anyway, he runs in for a spear. And Gable is able to lift himself up just in time. Jay kisses that fucking ring post. Nice. Nicely done. Gable finds the time to tag in Jordan, who clears house. Gable tags himself in and dives from the third rope. He goes for the pin, but Usos kick out. One of the Usos goes for a quick fall, but to no avail. The brothers then climb to the top rope and try to double up on Gable, but is stopped by Jordan. Excuse me, people. Sorry. Jordan and Gable hit the American Bulldog and nearly put the Usos away. The fans start chanting, "This is awesome." And it was. It was a great match. The action then goes to the outside. Gable hits one of the Usos with a moonsault outside and then hits with a clothesline into the barricade. As Jordan tries to enter the ring, again he is tripped and crotched on the lower rope. When he enters the ring disoriented, he is met with a boot that puts him out for the 3 count. Your new tag team champions, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. I was a little bit surprised about this victory. I really was. I didn't expect American Alpha to lose this at a SmackDown Live event. I expected them to lose them or have a match at least at WrestleMania. But I'm not going to complain because, for one, we had a hell of a tag team match. We actually had 2 tag teams utilized, and they were utilized correctly. It was a fantastic match. It kept me interested, and it kept my daughter interested. So I say that is a win. Now we break for a commercial once again. We come back, we see Luke Harper backstage, and he says Sister Abigail turned a good man bad. He says Randy Orton opened Pandora's box, destroyed it, and now a new evil roams the earth. He says next week he will destroy Bray Wyatt. But that's not exactly what he said. He said he will destroy him. So I'm thinking, it is Bray Wyatt. He's challenging. It was also announced later on in the show that it will be Luke Harper versus Bray Wyatt next week. I believe it should be a fantastic match. This is a match I expected to go to WrestleMania. Sadly, it did not happen. This is where, in my point of view, the show kind of went to shit. So, we're showing a tape of an unaired, and I'm quoting this, unaired episode of Total Bellas. The video consists of Maurice mocking Brie and Nikki, and Miz imitating John Cena. They mock Cena and Bella's issues as a couple, namely that of Cena not proposing and being weirdly strict. It's kind of funny, and apparently there is more to come later. Now JBL was constantly just cheerleading this whole fucking segment. I thought it was total bullshit. And by the way, that was the title of, after every segment done, it was Bella's total bullshit. They had shit edit it out, but you know what I mean. And like I said, it was apparently funny. Not to me, not to my family, not to anyone else there. Shortly after that, we got Baron Corbin making his way down to ringside for his match and his encounter with the Viper. Commercial break, and we come back, and Orton begins the match with a headlock, but Corbin slams him into the mat right after. Orton goes for an RKO very early in the match and is stopped, and Corbin rolls out of the ring. Now, Corbin looks like he's in control until he throws Randy into the ropes and waits to set him up for a move, but is slammed to the mat himself. The Viper works on Baron's legs and finally gets him into the corner. He then climbs the top rope and rains down right hands. Does the old 10 punches. He stops at 9. Orton tries to reach Corbin, who is outside of the ring, but is instead hit onto the turnbuckle, giving the Lone Wolf the advantage as we go into another commercial break. So when we return, got Corbin going for a cover, but Randy Orton kicks out. The Lone Wolf then locks in a submission hold in the center of the ring. Orton finally works his way up, but is finally hit with knees to the body. Corbin is flung to the corner, but he slides under the ropes and re-enters the ring, only to clothesline Orton once again. The guy moves beautifully. Like a big guy like that, he's thrown into the corner, but instead of hitting those buckles, he'll just slide right under that bottom rope, runs around the post, and comes right back in and just hits you. It's beautiful. McMahon slides through again and re-enters to ambush the distracted Orton, who instead counters with a power slam. And we all know Randy Orton's power slams are quick, they're beautiful, and they look like they fucking hurt. Orton plants Corbin with a full Nelson slam and then attempts a DDT on the ropes. Corbin works his way out of the ring and the action spills to the outside. The Viper gets the Lone Wolf back into the ring and completes the DDT. Orton tries the RKO but is countered into a deep 6. Orton kicks out of and rolls out of the ring. Corbin follows him out and crashes into the steel stairs. Instead of Orton, who just narrowly escaped by sliding back in the ring. Sorry about the cough. Both men lie on the canvas until Ambrose appears on a forklift and says, "Corbin, are you busy?" And he's like, no, we're taking a little break here. You run your mouth. Orton takes advantage of the distraction. Corbin takes advantage of the distracted Corbin and finishes him off with an RKO. Winner of the match, Randy Orton. After the match, Ambrose comes down to the ring and accepts Corbin's challenge for a WrestleMania match for the Intercontinental Champion. Then follows that accepted challenge and hits Dirty Deeds. This was a great match. I would have liked to seen it go a little bit longer because, well, it was to set up more of the Intercontinental match than Randy Orton and Baron Corbin itself. But it was a great match, and I want to see these guys work together more. As for Dean Ambrose and Corbin at WrestleMania, I think it's going to be a good match. Corbin has really come a long way since I first started. Since I first started watching him. God, being sick is not good. So I am intrigued to see these two guys fight at WrestleMania. I want to see him against Randy Orton more. Maybe we see that in the future. Maybe with a title on the line. Basically get told that later tonight Becky Lynch will be facing Carmella, and AJ Styles is still seen waiting for Shane McMahon in the parking lot. That is one part I didn't really like seeing all night long. AJ Styles waiting in the parking lot. It just seemed a little bit too much. You know, it's the second week we've seen AJ Styles in the parking lot, and he's done nothing else except for the sneak attack and what happened at the end of tonight's show. So, we come back from commercial, and Renee Young is backstage with Randy Orton. She asks what Randy's response is to what Bray did last week. Randy says he doesn't know how to get rid of Bray Wyatt. The lights start to flicker before going completely out. They come back on, and Randy is surrounded by men in green overalls and goat masks. A little hint to maybe new Wyatt member coming back. Randy throws an elbow and tries to fight, but they quickly beat him down. The men drag Orton to a wall and hold his head up. Wyatt then walks in and, with a red cross on a stick, baptizes Orton. Bray says Orton exposed his one flaw, but that flaw became his greatest strength. He says Abigail is with him now. Burning bright, he thanks Randy. Bray sings he's got the whole world in his hands while staring down at Orton. Go from commercial break and come back, and we've got Fandango making his entrance alongside a cross-dressing Tyler Breeze. And he's dressed like Nikki Bella. My complaint: you got a talented wrestler like Tyler Breeze, and you have him dressed up like Nikki Bella. If I were him, I'd consider that as the ultimate insult. Him and Fandango have been used or underused and underutilized for so long, and this is what they get stuck with. Having to dress up like Nikki Bella. All to further a storyline that is complete shit. Either way. Before the match starts, Fandango takes the mic and gives Cena a shitload of tickets. Finally tells him that he will expose him for the poor wrestler that he is. He then introduces his muscle as Breezy Bella. Cena points to the ramp and Nikki Bella walks out. And there you have Fandango versus John Cena. After Fandango throws some tickets at Cena, John takes control and finishes with a 5-knuckle shuffle. Breeze tries to help Fandango, but is speared by Nikki Bella. The couple then plant the tag team in sync with a AA and a Rack Attack 2.0. They then finish the bout with a double STF. Your winner, John Cena. This is part of that shitty moment in SmackDown. This was completely pointless. I know it's supposed to further the storyline between Miz and Maurice with Cena and Nikki Bella, but this was total garbage in my eyes. Just total garbage. It wasn't funny. It wasn't entertaining. I did not like seeing it. Guy with Fandango's talent, guy with BREEZANGO or Tyler Breeze's talent, they need to be used a lot better instead of this shit. So, after the break, we get Becky Lynch versus Carmella. Did not end up being a very good match at all. It wasn't even a match. It started off as a match, but quickly went into chaos. So, Becky starts with a spin kick to the stomach of Carmella, who rolls out of the ring. Lynch follows and lands a right hand. As they re-enter, Carmella lands a boot to Lynch's face. However, before she can take advantage, she's ambushed by Natalya, who clotheslines her. So, your winner via disqualification is Carmella. Ellsworth then joins the battle, followed by the champion, Alexa Bliss. Mickie James also comes in. And James takes out Natalya and is in turn taken out by Bliss. Lynch then dives on Ellsworth with a missile drop kick, and Carmella from the third rope and hits Ellsworth. After all the chaos, Alexa is left standing tall in the center of the ring, holding her title. Basically, it wasn't supposed to be a match. It was basically to show you the chaos that's going to happen at WrestleMania with all these women being able to challenge Alexa Bliss for her title. So a little bit more crappiness ensued after the John Cena match. So we come back and we're shown another episode of Total Bellas parody. Renee catches up with Styles backstage and asks him of his intentions. A car pulls up and Rhino and Slater walk out as AJ's about to attack, thinking it's Shane McMahon. Meanwhile, inside the arena, Shane McMahon's music goes off and he strolls down the ramp and into the ring as confident as ever. He tells AJ that he's now looking for him. Backstage, Renee Young tells Styles that Shane is in the ring waiting for him. AJ looks a little bit confused, but he heads down back into the arena anyway. After the commercial break, we get Shane still waiting inside the ring, very patiently. He was very calm too. I figured he'd be like yelling, screaming. He had a shiner. He had some scratches and bruises up his forearm. But all in all, he was a very calm person. Alright, Shane says AJ always acts like the tough guy when he isn't here or has his back turned. Shane invites him to the ring again. He says AJ could have resolved this like a man, talk to him one-on-one, maybe even throw down if that would be the case. However, he opted to attack him from behind and made the problem so much worse. So either AJ can come to the ring or he can come to the back and search for AJ. So we see AJ walking towards the ring, breathing deep as Shane watches from ringside. I thought it was kind of odd how long the video of AJ walking backstage was. The fans got a little bit restless, and Shane just wandered around in the ring. He didn't say anything, just kind of waited. AJ gets into the gorilla and stops, grabbing a mic before he walks out, and he takes a deep, calming breath before he walks out. AJ comes to the stage and stops. He tells Shane McMahon to calm down, and that's what I thought was strange. Shane wasn't raging. He wasn't out of control, but he asks Shane McMahon to calm down. He says Shane needs to understand what he's been through. He went off the deep end after losing his WrestleMania event. He goes on to say that Shane did him a favor and says he's not like the other McMahons. He then says that he's going to walk into the ring and sincerely apologize man to man. But as soon as he steps in, Shane rains down with right hands. AJ manages to suplex Shane into the barricade shortly after. Styles picks up Shane, who turns around into a overhead suplex. Shane then dismantles the announce table, which AJ had started, hits AJ with a TV monitor before climbing the top turnbuckle and leaping off with an elbow drop to Styles, breaking through the announce table in Shane McMahon fashion. You know, he's all about the risk, and he got a big pop for it. The fans loved it. There's a lot of replays of the footage too. It took him a little bit to get back up on his feet, but he managed to, and he knelt down beside AJ Styles, and whatever was said between the two was not caught on tape. But we are heading into WrestleMania in 12 days, and their match is finally set up and ready to go. There's enough heat now between the two. The fans are behind it. And I have to agree with some of the other podcasters that follow WWE. This is a match to look out for. It is your sleeper match. This could be a really well done match. Now, as you can hear, I'm still fucking coughing up a lung. Had the sweats the entire time I've been doing the show. I feel like fucking crap. So, that is all for tonight. Remember to hit that like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you would. Help this channel grow. And I will see you later this week. We're going to gather up some news, rumors, and we're going to have a couple of shows extra for you. I started doing a couple extra last week. I want to keep that going and make sure I bring you enough content that my subscriptions are worthy of you doing so. So, have a good night, and we will see you later on this week.